Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ripple XRP Army News Community Channel Weekly Roundup. And I spelled it wrong. I'll fix that. While I'm doing that, I'd like James and King Solomon, James Rule XRP, and King Solomon, our guest this week, to say hello to you guys.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Go ahead, James.
James Rule XRP is in the house. How's everybody doing? I'm glad to be on this channel tonight and going through this stream with Solomon and Scott, and we're going to cover some XRP information and get everybody excited. A lot of news came out today with the U.S. governments and all kind of fun stuff, man. Southeast Texas is in the house.
What's up, everybody? Solomon here. Yeah, I mean, there has been a lot that's happened over the past week, so I know I've talked with Scott. I talked with him on Monday and promised him if I was available, I would do a live stream. And here we are. So I hope you all are doing well and excited to talk about XRP and digital assets. So,
all right. So, James, I know that one of the reasons I'm so excited to talk to the two of you is you both have a skill set that is just I'm very much in awe of. Number one, James, your dedication to doing the research. And I'd also like everybody to know kind of a backstory. James is one of the people a few months ago that I started to begin to develop a friendship with, who has become one of my best friends in our XRP community. And it's really exciting to be able to have a chance to be able to get on here and talk with him. And I respect you highly, James, for your dedication to being the researcher that you are, because I met you when you kind of were just starting up, and now just about every XRP video that I see, you're shouted out by saying, hey, we appreciate that James Rule gave us this information. And then also the same level of respect for Solomon, one of my favorite YouTubers, for his honesty and practicality. I like the straightforward approach that Solomon gives all of us. So tonight is like a double blast of how grateful can Scott get. So I appreciate both of you guys being here. And James, you want to give us a little bit of an idea about anything exciting in the research world that you saw this week?
Well, I'll tell you what, one big thing that happened to me was Tuesday. I took a road trip over to Galveston, and I really can't get into detail because you know, in April, I created this YouTube channel, and I was laid off from my previous job at a plant. So, you know, and there goes my phone. If you hear the bum bum from Law and Order, it's my phone blowing up over here. But anyway, in April, I decided to create a YouTube channel and start researching my passion, which is XRP and my investments, and I have several others. But Tuesday, I had the opportunity of driving to Galveston, Texas, which is about an hour and a half from where I live currently. And I am in the process of partnering up with several guys, and we're going to actually be running on Ripple. But I can't say anything. I'm like the David Schwartz of PolySign right now, and I cannot release that information until it's actually publicized, and there's different corridors we're going to have to go through to publicize this venture that I'm currently in. But man, I'll tell you what, just so much stuff going on this week with all the conferences, and you have Ripple Swell coming up, and you just had the LA Blockchain Summit. Man, there's just so much. And today, Attorney General William P. Barrett announced the publication of the Cryptocurrency Enforcement Framework, which when I see that, I see, just in my own opinion, I see crypto regulations are going to happen very soon. There's just a lot of things out there taking place right now. And, you had Chris Larson talking about moving Ripple out of the country, out of the United States, unless they regulate all this. I don't know if that was just kind of him saying that, maybe hiding something that we don't know. I mean, it's all speculation based on all of us. Just, why did he say that? Are things happening behind closed doors right now that we don't know about? Just a lot of things going on behind closed doors, like the poly signs. We haven't seen anything on poly sign or, all these. So, just a lot of things going on behind closed doors, like the poly signs. We haven't seen anything on poly sign or, all these. Just a lot of things going on behind closed doors, like the poly signs. We haven't seen anything on poly sign.
You got an echo, Scott.
Yeah, I got an echo. I'm getting some feedback on my side.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Hey, Scott, I'm going to shut down Minicam.
Echo, Scott.
I'm getting some feedback on my side.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Hey, Scott, I'm going to shut down Minicam.
Echo, Scott.
I'm getting some feedback.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Hey, Scott, I'm going to shut down Minicam.
Echo, Scott. Well, it looked like whatever you did there fixed it.
Yay! I fixed it. Sorry, guys. It was me. I opened it up on YouTube. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you're fine, man.
We're good now.
We all do that on multiple occasions. So
Yeah.
are we still live?
Yes.
Holy crap. Okay. I had to shut down Minicam because holy shit, man. I kept hearing echoes. I thought I was rapping through the tunes there for a minute. I was like, oh shit, what did I do?
I did want to say, James, you are absolutely killing it, dude. With the amount of content that you're putting out. You remind me a little bit of what I was doing or trying to accomplish probably about maybe a year ago. I mean, it was just because there's always news. I mean, and it's always coming. It's for you to be, able to put what you're doing out. I mean, that's a great service to the community as far as from a news standpoint. So I personally wanted to tell you thank you because I see all the hard work that you're putting in, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It's fantastic, and I know the effort and I know the energy that takes. So
thank you. Hey, I appreciate you for that, man. That really means a lot because this passion that I put into it for the past 6 months is actually going to elevate me in this business venture that I cannot talk about today. I can throw the breadcrumbs out there as bad as I want to tell you and Scott, you kind of know, but we cannot say a word. It's under disclosure and under all these clauses, and it's really amazing when you can actually benefit from your passion. And I believe in the laws of attraction 100%. And I've always, even before I got into crypto, I was big into the laws of attraction. And basically the concept of that is if you're always positive and you're always, focused on what you want, you're going to eventually get back what you want in tenfold. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And the laws of attraction, since I watched The Secret back in 2006 and read probably 15 or 20 books kind of going over the fundamentals and all this stuff, it has changed my life, So.
Hey, I did want to touch base. I know you brought up the regulatory document that came out today. And I always try to look at most of the people that are going to be watching this are involved in the XRP community, but I do pay attention to what, Ripple employees are saying. And my only concern, and honest to God, I've been a little bit burnt out for the past couple of days. I have seen exciting things this week, but it seems like, from Brad Garlinghouse's tweet where there was this 70-plus page report that came out for regulation or somewhat clarity. There's multiple regulatory bodies in the United States, and it seems like Brad is looking for a consolidated answer as far as the path forward for these companies to be able to utilize the utility of these digital assets. And I don't know if from a U.S. perspective we've gotten that. So my personal opinion, Ripple potentially leaving the U.S. is a very, very real thing. We know, and I know from looking into different nations, the UK, in my opinion, England is much further ahead. You've got countries like Singapore that are much further ahead. Asia is clearly far further ahead. China is arguably the furthest ahead from rolling out something on a mass scale. So it's concerning to me, but the great thing, in my opinion, about something like XRP and Ripple is that just because Ripple leaves the United States has no, in my opinion, no impact on the value proposition and the utility of XRP.
Right.
That just means they're going to where they can survive, not even survive, but flourish. Where the clarity has been deemed not even possible, but it's out there. The U.S. is just, it's crazy to me that, and I do agree with you though, James. There probably are underlying things on the back burner there. I mean, you look at Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, Jay Clayton, and the special assistant to the president having a meeting in 2018. Like, they weren't talking about a banana bread recipe. there was conversations going on. But from a clarity standpoint, I mean, I'm sure it's frustrating for Ripple because they've got this enterprise-ready digital asset that's ready to roll out. I mean, from a liquidity standpoint, yeah, we still have some room to grow, but from the onboarding standpoint and the back office functions to be able to get these people onto RippleNet, it's all there. We just need the clarity from the banking perspective. I think Brian Brooks at the OCC has made a lot of progress. An amazing amount of progress, but that's my 2 cents on the Ripple potentially moving, though. And I do think it's a real concern because they wouldn't say it if it's not a real concern, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a psyop.
Yeah, and I watched that conference with Jay Clayton and Brian Brooks today, and it was just amazing just hearing them talking about it. And I could hear, I kind of heard, Brian Brooks saying XRP when he didn't actually say XRP, and the use case utilities and moving money around the world. And I always factored in XRP and Ripple every time he spoke on that. And it's going to happen. But if we could just get the U.S. government to get off their ass and get this thing going before, China and Japan and everybody else kicks our ass with these CBDCs and they won't need the U.S. dollar. They say, hey, we got our own shit now. We don't need you.
Well, I think a lot of the misconception about CBDCs is that it's going to solve every problem. I mean, we have to remember that a CBDC is essentially a digital representation of fiat. So do you think that a CBDC is going to be capped? They're going to be able to do whatever they want to with a CBDC. Yeah. So our purchasing power doesn't change with a CBDC. It in effect, it does solve some problems from a speed standpoint, in my opinion. But from an interoperability standpoint, if we thought CBDCs were going to kill XRP, then there would already be there wouldn't be forex rates and all this other stuff right now. And there's different trade arguments that go on between these nations where there's issues with currency. The unlimited printing of money will not change with a CBDC. It just, in effect, the CBDC, in my opinion, obviously, and it's pretty much common sense, but it brings paper fiat digital, and it doesn't solve the underlying issues that are going on, though.
That's true. That is true. What you think about it?
What other news have you, James? What other news have you seen this week? Did you see the? I try not to get too riddly or speculative, but some of the verbiage with like Christine Lagarde and stuff like that. It's interesting to me to see how some of that stuff ties in. And if you're not aware, I'm a speculative person, but I pay attention to everybody in this space because some things do come to fruition that just make you kind of do a double take and look back at the way that things are worded. Like you said, you were watching that interview and you almost heard them say XRP or Ripple. I mean, that probably happens a couple times a week for me, and I'm sure that happens to you as well based on verbiage.
Yeah. To be honest with you, the last couple of days after our Tuesday party, I was kind of out of touch yesterday, but we had a pretty good smashing time Tuesday night, but doing some whiteboarding and going over some different things that we are going to create here in the very near future. But yeah, I mean, everybody has their own opinions about things. Watch all the top YouTubers, and I try to watch as many as I can in a day's time. And it just, amazes me all the news that's out there. And I do miss things. Believe me, James Roy XRP misses some things in the news. I can't cover everything, but, that's what we are. That's what we're all here for, to share the news. If I see something that's really badass, I'm going to share it with the community and, just try to get it out there. But yeah.
All right. So we got a question, guys. So you two guys kick this around, and I am just in awe because it's kind of surreal for me looking back 90 days ago and now having the chance to be able to have you two guys here with me. So I don't want to embarrass myself by sharing my lack of understanding compared to you guys. So I'm just going to let you guys, I'm going to get these questions for you guys, and then I'm going to let you guys kick the stuff around so I don't embarrass myself. So we've got a question here. It was about the gold standard and the SDR revisit from West Pat. So you guys want to kick that around?
Go ahead, James.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
I will say this. My personal opinion is I do not believe that the XRPL, which we know has been moving towards decentralization and continues to move towards that. I don't believe that XRP gets attached to any precious metal or anything else. However, my opinion is my opinion. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. We know that Ripple holds quite a bit of XRP. I do find it interesting, some of the rhetoric that's going around. I can't remember if I saw it was from Kristalina Georgieva from she is now the head of the IMF. Mm-hmm. And speaking about this new reset, etc., and taking what's the guy's name? Whoever brought up the topic of Bancor and Keynes, and that eventually turned into Bretton Woods, which attached the dollar to the gold standard. But Kristalina Georgieva, the head of the IMF, yesterday or the day before, used that as inspiration for this new rebuild, which is just interesting to me because if you look, there was Barry Eichengreen, who is a main contributor to the IMF, etc., just interviewed with David Schwartz like 2 months ago, and has proposed for Bancor, a global currency. Now, but I, from a realistic standpoint, I don't see how that's a possibility. I can't see XRP being attached to gold. What I can see is all these CBDCs coming about, and especially in the interim, as liquidity builds up, utilizing XRP as the bridge mechanism for nations, exotic nations. I don't think that there's really a necessity to do that from like a UK to US standpoint right now. Maybe there is, and I'm just not aware of it from a banking perspective, but I do see XRP being that interoperability mechanism that could potentially be used. So there's a lot of opportunity here. And my opinion is that CBDCs are not going to talk. There may be switching mechanisms between some of the major ones, but in my opinion also, I think every nation in the entire world is going to have a CBDC by like 2025 at the very latest, because once one rolls it out, it's going to be a cascade domino effect, and they're all going to. But if you're asking about XRP being attached to gold, I may be wrong, but I do not believe that that's going to be the case.
James?
I totally believe that. XRP being used as a bridge to move value around the world in seconds. It's really kind of hard to believe that it will be attached to gold. I mean, I was watching DAI, I think last week, and he was talking about, what if XRP were a $10,000 stable coin or $1,000 stable coin? I mean, I don't see how that could be, being that XRP is being used as a bridge currency, to move value back and forth. But there's all kind of speculation out there, and we're really not going to know what's going to happen until all these regulations take place to actually identify what all these cryptocurrencies are,
I think the interesting thing too, James, is if you look at, I think it was Chris Larson just had an interview yesterday speaking about the value of XRP isn't necessarily an on-demand liquidity right now. There's $2 billion over the past year or two that have been flowing through XRP. It's more so the ecosystem. I believe very much so that the ecosystem is going to be the catalyst as far as a value proposition for XRP. Not necessarily just these remittance companies like MoneyGram or Noom, who used to be Instarem or whatever, utilizing XRP for remittances in certain corridor flows. Like, to me, it's more so building out this ecosystem. The nice thing about being invested into XRP is that, you know, every Ripple move does not have to do with XRP valuations. If you've been in this XRP community long enough, you know that no Ripple moves deal with have anything to do with price action, because it just doesn't. But we know that Ripple was building out an ecosystem and building out rails to enable this internet of value, where a digital asset such as XRP can flow almost seamlessly, which is interesting to me. And I think that's more important right now anyways, from my standpoint. Building out the network effect, to me, is going to pay off in dividends in the long run, rather than just putting out a, and this is I don't, this is kind of a little bit off topic, but we see these DeFi tokens right now. I'm not going to say anything bad about them, but if I'm a company or whatever, and I want to put out a DeFi token, it's decentralized finance token, or completely remove myself from the token, so it's DeFi. What am I going to do to make sure that it gains value almost immediately? Number one, I'm going to have a very, very low circulating supply, so the price goes from like almost nothing up to like $20,000 with not a whole lot of capital being backed by it. You know what I mean? I look at things like Hedera Hashgraph, and I look at things like XRP as very much so long-term wealth generators for me, because I believe in the network, I believe in the network effect, and I believe in the utility, which is at some point we move away from speculation. Once we have regulatory clarity and we move towards utility, we are very much so not there right now, but that's going to happen at some point.
I mean, when you look at all of the money on the XRP ledger, all of the money. I mean, think about that, you know, tokenized assets and derivatives and everything running on the XRP ledger. I mean, that's going to blow up XRP. We're at the right place at the right time, man. And I tell people every day, my brother just bought XRP. My sister's had it for a few months, and they're starting to watch my videos and starting to get the gist of what this is. You know, what is cryptocurrency? And everybody knew coming in, they're like, what is this, a scam? Is this like a network marketing scheme where if I buy some, you're going to profit from it? No, if everybody buys some, we're all going to profit, you know, once we get it out there and get it regulated and get all these banks and everything else involved with it. But yeah, I mean, we're early in it, just like the .com era. And I'm totally stoked to be here at this point. XRP, you know.
I 100% agree, James. I think, and I don't know if you guys disagree with me or not, but I think what we're going to see, we see the OCC right now, at least, and stating that banks can custody cryptocurrency. I don't know if you saw it today or not, but I was going to do a video on it today, but I got burnt out, and Scott, I decided to do the live stream instead of my video. But Tata Consultancy Services, if you're not aware, Tata is arguably top 5, top 10 companies in the entire world. TCS banks can utilize RippleNet. They have a TCS Tata Quartz solution, which is blockchain enabled and is basically going to run on crypto. They just announced today institutional grade custody of crypto as well. So I think what you're going to see once these CBDCs roll out is you're going to have a whole ecosystem of these nation-backed sovereign currencies, e-currencies or crypto or CBDCs that are going to be basically right hand in hand with, the actual digital assets that we're talking about right now. And that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that, because once people have a taste of the utility of what's happening, with the real technology, because it's going to be, it already is game over, but it's going to really be game over. These central banks need technology integrators. Do you think that they're going to Swift to integrate CBDCs, or do you think they're using people like Accenture, people like Intellect Design Arena, who do have IT integrations into blockchain? I mean, that also have in tandem integrations into things like RippleNet, Hyperledger, R3 Corda. This is all going to be an ecosystem that ties in the internet. That's the internet of value. It's level playing field, and it's the best utility for the best situation. And we have never seen that from a financial standpoint ever in history. That's just not the way that it is right now. That's not the way it's ever been. So,
and so Solomon, we have with the DTC tokenization. How do you see that fits in? And then I also have, I believe from West Pat, that he would like you to touch on Hedera Hashgraph, because he's seen you mention it a good bit, but has never really, in his satisfaction, gotten an explanation from you that he feels good about. So you got it?
Yeah. From a DTCC standpoint with derivatives, I can personally say I've never seen anything mentioning XRP from DTCC standpoint. I will say there's a couple of interesting things. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that DTCC is a Hyperledger member. We know that Hyperledger utilizes interledger protocol from the JavaScript standpoint. We know that Bearable Guy 123 put out that had that keep your eye on the prize thing. But I take all of that with a like I always say on my channel, a gigantic grain of salt. Now, we did see Project Ion. I've looked into DTCC before that Project Ion was announced through them. I've never seen Project Ion ever. I was at a point where for 6 months straight looking at DTCC's website almost daily. Now, is that to say that there's not going to be a tie-in in the future? Of course not. But from a derivatives clearing standpoint, DTCC, as of now, I have seen nothing stating XRP is going to be utilized for anything. With exception that you could potentially tie in interledger protocol through Hyperledger. But that's kind of my standpoint on that right now. But I do believe also that a lot of these institutions are future-proofing themselves. There's probably a lot of NDAs going on. We hear R3 talk about not being able to talk about their relationship with Ripple at this point. We know they hold a lot of XRP. Why would Hyperledger integrate interledger protocol? There's a lot of questions to be answered. Now, from Hedera Hashgraph standpoint, I will tell you the best reference for Hedera Hashgraph is, and who is that from, Scott, again?
West Pat.
Westpac, I would tell you the best, from my opinion, the best reference for Hedera Hashgraph is to, not to shill my own YouTube, but I did like an hour-long interview with Christian Hasker, who is the chief marketing officer of Hashgraph. The dude was super transparent. I am very excited about Hashgraph. If you're not aware, Hashgraph is not blockchain, but it's almost like 4th gen type thing. And they've got some very powerful players who aren't just running on the network, they are owners of the network. So I would recommend checking out the video I did. It's an hour long. If you have an hour, take an hour, because from a speed, from a utility standpoint, I love Hashgraph. Hashgraph to me is number 2 right behind XRP. So, but just as a quick caveat, sorry, Scott, as a quick caveat to that, it's a long-term hold for me also, just like XRP is. Gotcha.
And James from West Pat, in your opinion, why hasn't the U.S. government given clarity to XRP but named Ether and BTC a commodity?
Oh man, I don't have all the answers to that, but with the use cases that are being used around the world with RippleNet and the way that XRP is used to move value, I think they're just still really trying to determine how they're going to classify it. Because Bitcoin to me is considered digital gold, and XRP being a use case utility, I guess they're trying to just fine tune it and just really make a determination on what it actually is. That's pretty much all I have on that one. But can you imagine the day when your boss comes up to you and gives you the option of accepting fiat currency or XRP or any type of cryptocurrency for your payroll? I mean, can you imagine that day when that happens? Or when Scott, you and I were talking about when your financial advisor comes up to you and says, hey, look, Scott, or look, Solomon, hey, I think you need to take 5 or 10% of your portfolio and invest in digital currencies. When that day comes, the sky is the limit. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong. As a matter of fact, my CPA here in Beaumont, I just recently obtain a CPA for this venture I'm getting into. And I am the first cryptocurrency-based payroll employee that's going to be in his CPA firm. And I'm kind of like the inaugural CPA firm's crypto guru, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm pretty much going to lead the way in the future development of his CPA firm once cryptocurrency is adopted. So I'm freaking stoked about that. You know, I'm really excited to be a part of that. And he's a big CPA. You know, here in Southeast Texas, we have ranchers, we have millionaires and billionaires, and he covers a lot of those family office customers that have not ventured into cryptocurrency yet, but that's soon to change, to be honest with you.
And Solomon, you have any opinion on why the U.S. has taken so long in getting with the regulatory program?
I think from Bitcoin and Ethereum standpoint, well, from Bitcoin standpoint, in my opinion, and it's a difficult thing to say. I don't want to knock people that invest into Bitcoin. I have a huge issue with proof of work. I believe that at this point, once they announced futures for Bitcoin, and I was around, what was it, like November 2017, through the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or whatever it was. I think that at that point, Bitcoin was pretty much hashed out and controlled at that point. I do think that Bitcoin is going to go up in value. I would very much so believe, and this isn't financial advice, obviously, none of this is financial advice, but I think Bitcoin is going to go to 100K at some point, maybe. If there isn't some sort of a network thing that happens with the centralized mining that's going on. But now Ethereum's a different monster, because look at all the projects running on Ethereum. Mm-hmm. I think Ethereum is integral to this Internet of Value in a way. It's an issue to me that they haven't been able to migrate to something like proof of stake yet. But from an Ethereum and a Bitcoin standpoint, from a regulatory clarity standpoint, I think that those two are pretty much. I don't know. It's a different. I don't know. From an XRP standpoint, I mean, why wouldn't XRP be dictated as not being a security at this point? Maybe it's the open court hearing. But I do think that the book's already been written for Bitcoin. I do think that most of the money has already been made with Bitcoin. I do think that Ethereum has a lot of potential still. I just would really like to see them migrate. I know I don't want to dodge the question here, but I'm not a regulator. I can't give an opinion when I'm not sitting there at the seat trying to make these decisions. We know that the institutions that Ripple is tied in with, and you better be damn sure if these institutions that Ripple is tied in with, they know what XRP is. So is it some sort of a delay tactic? I don't know. Is it a real tactic? I don't know. I did a video like in January about the lawyers that are operating for Ripple. Some of them used to work for like I think it was like the one of the older presidents and like all this other crazy stuff. And like then the lawyer that's working for Bradley Sostak, who is the lead plaintiff for the securities case, and it was like just some random dude in like Oklahoma or wherever. So, but I can't give you insight because I'm not a regulator. I don't, it's just interesting to me to see how long this has taken to play out. And maybe they're just waiting for people to get frustrated and sell. I have no idea though.
Great. Okay. And this is for both of you guys. And James, you can start off with this one. What do you think about XDC?
We're talking about the dollar coin.
Solid.
Huh?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, James.
XDC. I've really been kind of eyeballing the USDT, the US dollar tether, which is really
XDC is Zinfin.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I've been primarily focused on XRP, so I'm gonna let you take that away, Solomon.
Oh God.
I know, man. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I hold a little bit of Zinfin. Not a lot. I hold a little bit. I try to diversify as much as possible. We know that XinFin is tied in with Corda, or at least we've seen that XinFin is tied into R3 Corda. I try to hold as many digital assets that I can possibly hold that I see these large institutions tied into, which is why I got involved into Hashgraph, which is why I hold a little bit of XinFin, which is why I hold. I think there's a XTCE also, which is XinFin Network. I hold a little bit of Stellar. I hold a little bit of IOTA. I hold a little bit of VeChain. You guys are getting my long-term holdings here, but Algorand. I look at these as all opportunities. The thing that I would say though about XDC, I know that's very much so primarily Asia-based. I want to say like Singapore. I can't remember. I did research on them a while ago, and I bought a little bit. But again, not financial advice. I try to hedge all my bets. XRP is very far in front of anything that I have. Hedera Hashgraph is very close, number 2. There's some mid-tier ones, and then XDC is like right along with like Stellar and some of the other ones, which is almost just like a CYA, cover my ass type thing, in case something happens that I'm not aware of. Because my opinion, I've been asked to research multiple digital assets on multiple occasions, and it's very difficult to find information about them because it just doesn't exist, unless it's these little partnerships that they just release right on their website. From a global institution and a legacy institution, some of the big players in the world, that's what I try to look into. And I find things like that on XRP, or at least what Ripple's trying to do on a consistent basis. I find things like that as far as what Hashgraph has done. Haven't seen a lot on XinFin, but I do know that they're integrated into R3, and I believe that R3 is a very, very major player in the Internet of Value that's to come, along with Hyperledger, along with Digital Asset Group, along with Ripple. So I put a tiny bit of stake into the game. So not financial advice, but that's my 2 cents.
Gotcha. And James, one of the things that came in for you was that you can touch on for us is, what about the Spark tokens? How are you feeling about that project?
Well, since Spring, which is now Ripple X, pretty much is tied to Flare Networks, I have actually set my XRP Ledger Nano X up to receive the Spark token. And, there's many exchanges out there that are going to accept it. I think the Coinbase hadn't disclosed that information yet, but it's still unknown what the price of Spark is going to be once it's released. But and it's still kind of iffy. It's still kind of out there, but I have set up my wallet to accept this Spark token distribution on December 12th or whenever that happens, so it's all unknown right now. I mean, I've read up a little bit on the documentation on Flare's web pages, and it's pretty detailed. I mean, it's a David Schwartz detailed.
He probably wrote it.
I mean, he can read it and tell you everything about it. I read it, I'm like, well, shit, what does that word mean?
Yeah, I do the same thing, man. It's like reading some of this stuff is like complete foreign to me because I'm not a tech guy.
It's a different language, just like the white papers. You read the white papers, and you're like, oh my god, what? I tell people, read the white papers, and if you can figure it out, tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, I try to stick to some of the more realistic people in this space as far as for a consolidation of what these initiatives mean. And my understanding with Spark, it essentially brings XRP into the DeFi space. It essentially brings ties XRP into something like Ethereum with smart contracts. It essentially competes with Ethereum. So my opinion on Spark is I'm 100% going to participate. I try not to, because I've seen horror stories as far as the ledgers and stuff like that, as far as setting up Ledger, your Ledger Nano for certain things. But there's also horror stories with exchanges. I'm definitely going to participate. My plan is definitely to probably accumulate more XRP so that I can accumulate more Spark before that and just hold both. I haven't necessarily set aside an amount that I want to get to, because with XRP, as many of us are aware, you hit a benchmark, you say that's it, and then you keep buying more. But
you know, that's the XRP rich list and realize it's a different percentage now. What the hell?
Right.
You
know? No, and honestly, like I talk to people about this all the time. I have way less XRP than a lot of people that I personally talk to in this space. But it's a lot for me, and it's exactly the amount of XRP that I was willing to invest in it. And it's my number one holding in digital assets, even though I diversify. It's exactly the amount that I was willing to invest in, also in tandem willing to potentially lose it all in case it doesn't go the way that I expect it to go.
Yeah.
That's the decision that I made. I didn't want to. I have 3 kids. I have a wife, a mortgage. You know, I do YouTube videos because I research regardless. My intention very much so with this space is I know where it's going. I don't want to miss the train. Even if I'm wrong about the train, at least I tried. And I don't think that we're wrong, but I know a lot of people in the XRP community are all in, which is that's the decision that they've made. But I see there being multiple winners in this space. I'm definitely going to participate in Spark, and I definitely try to participate in these multiple winners because there's going to be multiple winners. And it's all about investing what you're willing to completely lose entirely. And if you're comfortable doing that and you don't want to change your lifestyle, invest. If you are taking news from individuals that are telling you that XRP is going to, or the QFS is going to go live in 2 weeks, and you're going to be rich, that's fine that they're putting that news out there, but you really need to sit there and do your own research and understand what you're willing to put on the line, because you may lose a lot more than you're willing to lose. Because look at the prices. We've been at 25 cents now. How many times on Twitter have you seen, this is the last time Bitcoin goes below 10 grand, or this is the last time XRP goes below 30 cents. That's bullshit.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Hello.
So that's my 2 cents. I'm participating in Spark. It's 100% legit in my opinion. However, everybody do your own due diligence and make sure that you know what you're doing whenever you set up to partake in that allotment of Spark. Whether it be through a ledger or whether it be through an exchange. Make sure that you do your research. And once you do your research again, because make sure that you are right. Ask questions. There's people in this community that will help you. If you are confused about one thing, you could lose everything. So reach out. And I may not be the tech guy, but there are people out there. And if I see your tweet or if I get a DM, and if I see it, I get a lot, but I will ask the right individuals and try to help you guys out. So, and I'm sure James and I'm sure Scott would do the same exact thing.
Absolutely. Okay.
I'm 100% behind you on that. And guys, you need to watch out, because here recently there was a fake Flare Spark distribution page that was not Vitsevin's page. That actually, I didn't actually look at the page, but there's all kind of criminal activity scams. And I'll say on all of my videos, if you see a pop-up on this YouTube video,
turn it off.
Turn it off. Do not click on it, because you're going to lose your XRP or your Bitcoin or Ethereum. I mean, and as this space grows, there are going to be more hackers and more. And if you're new to this channel, if you haven't purchased cryptocurrency yet, you need to be smart. You need to do your own research before you jump into something like this. So.
And James, while you're continuing, would you talk about the crypto domains? And then if Solomon has any opinion on those, what are your feelings about the .crypto domains? Unstoppable Domains, I think is the name of the company.
You had to ask me that question. I have 45 .crypto domains. And they range from do you own .crypto, and I have one that says .com to .crypto. I have NHRA drag racing .crypto. All these company names. I even have my local credit unions .crypto, because I know when all these banks adopt cryptocurrency, they're going to be looking for their .crypto domain. And just like, I grew up in the age of the internet whenever the .com started, and the Las Vegas .coms and the Forbes .coms, and people paid millions upon millions of dollars for these .coms. We're at that point right now that if you claim the right .crypto or .zil domain, whenever this becomes mainstream, I'm talking crypto, these companies are going to be paying high dollar prices to have these crypto domains, because you could create a web page off of this crypto domains. it's yours to keep forever. Once you put it on the blockchain, nobody can take it down. So it's freedom of speech, freedom of whatever the hell you want to put out there. I think it's amazing. I'm in real close contact with Unstoppable Domains because they're one of my affiliates on my YouTube channel. And I tell you what, it is unbelievable how many people have jumped on the Unstoppable Domain bandwagon to claim these domains. There are so many out there that are scooping these up to make profits here in the near future.
And Solomon, you have a good feeling about Unstoppable Domains?
I mean, I like ingenuity, and when I see an initiative that's tied into PayID, which is a RippleNet initiative, and I think that Ripple very much so as a company, regardless of what you think about XRP, I think that Ripple is doing this right from a blockchain standpoint. And they're tied right into the PayID initiative. Not even just the buying a .crypto domain to me so much as being important. And I do think that the value proposition for that is very high. When this space goes to where we all know it's going to go to, or where it's going to go to, I look at like the simplicity aspect of what they're trying to accomplish here, where sending crypto or sending anything through these siloed walls gets broken down, and that is one initiative that I look at and I respect, and I think that it's going to work. But there's obviously a little bit of an initiative and undertaking for that to get to where they want it to be. But I agree with James 100%. I also Unstoppable Domains reached out to me. I participate in that. I get I couldn't tell you how many I've gotten like different actual like digital asset companies like reaching out to me to like promote their stuff, and it's like, I don't know about this. Give me something that I can understand. And Unstoppable Domains, I could understand. I could understand that .coms become .cryptos, and also the simplicity model of it and where it's all going. So I support it 100%. While they're a PayID member, I'm going to continue to support them, and I think that whole ecosystem is very exciting. And yeah, I'm all about it. So,
all right, and guys, we've got Channing asking, what are your guys' thoughts regarding GSX? Donovan says it's great.
No comment.
All right, and Solomon, GSX?
What is GSX? Glow shares?
I would imagine it's got to be some kind of a crypto project.
I'm Googling it right now to try to figure out.
And while you're doing that, Harley asked us look at Radix, RADIX, and then $XRD.
Man, right. You're speaking Chinese to me, brother.
Hey, you don't see me trying to answer any of this stuff, do you?
Oh, Radix is Radix. I'm on Radix's website. It's supposedly DeFi. Hold on.
I had to grab a Killian's Irish Red real quick on this one.
Yeah, I'm drinking a Ying. Well, hold on. I don't know, man. I got to look more into these. Like, I can't give my opinion after just hearing about this stuff right now. Radix is the company that comes out in an extinguishes termites, aren't they? Or termites, aren't they?
That's close.
Isn't that Radix?
That's close.
GDX and Radix, right?
GSX.
Glow shares and Radix. I have to look into those two, Scott.
Okay.
No idea. Looking on Radix's website, and I never just go by the website, obviously. You got to do like targeted key searches and stuff like that to actually look into these companies. I'm not going to give my opinion when it's very much so uninformed.
All right. So GSX is Glow Share, whatever that is. Thank you, Jeff.
Hold on a second. Let me go to glowshares.com.
Okay.
Glowshares.com domain is for sale.
Hey,
crypto.
You know what? No, I mean, honest to God, I'll look into them. I'm not going to give an opinion that's going to be completely uneducated, though, on those because I just have no idea. I will say this, or maybe this is the actual website. No, Go to coinmarketcap.com and type in glow shares and click on website. The domain's for sale. So I don't know.
Hey, I have a question. Does XRP Crypto Wolf ever sleep?
No.
I'm getting freaking posts around the clock. I don't think he ever sleeps.
You know how many messages I get from that guy on a daily basis, and it's trust me, it's fantastic. I'm not going to sit there and complain, but
I'm the same way.
I think you guys may know. Like, I try not to use other people's information unless it's just groundbreaking information. That guy, I probably have 2 weeks of unread info because I don't want to feel bad when I do my videos because he's probably already sent me the shit.
Hey, I sent it to him, and he's like, "Really? I sent that to you like 3 hours ago."
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I see that too. I talked with Kevin Cage a decent amount in this space, and I talk with him sometimes on the phone and stuff. He texted me the other day, and he's like, "You posted a video, and I did the same exact video, and then I watched your video, and I was like, I did the same exact video that you did like 8 hours later, and I was like, dude, we're all in this together. You know what I mean? Like, that happens all the time to all of us.
Yeah, don't think I'm a copycat. And I'm just taking all your info. It's just what I found.
He is a fantastic dude. I'll tell you. If you want to follow somebody, Kevin's a really good dude.
Hey, he's trying to move to Texas, to Houston or Austin. He's trying to get down here. I said, "Come on, baby, come on." I think he's in Chicago, and he's like, "I'm trying to get to Texas." I'm like, "What's the holdup?" Well, watch out for these. Hurricane season is almost over, so. Yeah.
You know who I watch a lot? I mean, I'm curious, Scott, who do you watch on YouTube besides? I know you've got a lot tied up into yours, James. I know you got a lot tied up into yours. I'll tell you, I try to listen to Crypto Eddie's videos whenever she almost on a daily basis. I try to watch Kevin's almost on a daily basis. And then when Sam puts them out, I try to watch Sam's too, because I think he's just he's a smart individual, in my opinion.
He's from Texas, man. What do you expect?
He's from Texas without a Texas accent. So can you trust it?
Exactly.
Well, he moved there, so.
I'll tell you what. I tell you, DAI was the first one I watched years ago, and honestly, he was pretty much my main influence as far as looking in the XRP and jumping in the rabbit hole like I have for the past 3 years, but. Yeah, DAI, he kind of started this all for me, and Kevin Cage, Crypto Eddie, Working Money Channel, Bearable Bull. I mean, I watched probably 10 or 15 of them, and I just kind of skim through them and just find, whatever information I want to, see that I haven't discovered yet on the internet or, in my research. But yeah, I mean, this community, XRP community is just amazing. I mean, it's amazing how, and really, this is the only way we're getting this out to the public. You don't see this publicized in the national news yet until it's all regulated. But word of mouth,
like watching the debates. I will say 100%. I agree with you. Me personally, it was DAI and maybe a little bit of Sam with like when he was back into like the variable guy stuff. But then and what was interesting to me is that drove me into actually researching like, wow, Ripple was tied in with some really big financial institutions. And then for me, watching DAI, like before I was even researching, like I probably watched him for probably 3 or 4 months before I started researching. It kind of drove me to start doing the research and stuff and then filter information to him and stuff like that as well. But yeah, it's amazing to me to sit here and watch these presidential debates, and they're not talking about this digital Cold War that we are all that is very apparently happening right now. That may be underlying some of the things going on from a geopolitical standpoint right now as well. That's not, and it's not going to be mentioned because they don't want everybody to know that like blockchain and crypto are actually real and have utility. It's not just a pyramid scheme.
That's true. That is true.
Well, I started DAI, Brad, and then, now Kevin and you, Solomon, and James, and Crypto Ari, I consider her to be, I talk about it and post it all the time in Twitter as our standard. I just have such a great deal of respect for that lady. And I love the Bearable Bull. my girlfriend, my beautiful girlfriend Carrie, does an imitation of the bearable bull. That when I can get it on audio for all of you, I will share it with you.
Come on.
I will walk into to her house and I'll be listening to him on my phone as I'm walking in, and she'll start doing her imitation of the bearable bull. It is priceless.
Hey,
And
what's up, everybody?
I don't want to leave anybody out.
Aggressively average content.
Yeah,
Hey,
love
that dude, honestly, like whenever I need a pick me up, though, I will listen to the Bearable Bull.
Me too.
And he's a really nice guy too. Like he's always super positive.
Yeah.
You know, he's pretty much. I do like and what does he say? And this is another aggressively average video.
Well, and that's one of the things, Solomon, that I love so much about our community. When I look at I started out buying Bitcoin just like everybody else, but I don't see the amount of researchers and content creators in any of the other crypto communities that we have in ours. No, I mean, not even anywhere close.
There's nothing to research. Honest to God, I mean, you've got every time Bitcoin wants to, and again, if you invest in Bitcoin, that's fine. I have no issue with that. But every time Bitcoin has a proposal that potentially brings it into competition with these other non-proof of work coins, from a utility standpoint, it forks. It is what it is. And I came into the space with Bitcoin as well. It was very much so a value proposition to me by letting something sit in an account and seeing it go up by 3 times. I was like, shit, maybe I should invest in this. That's a dangerous thing to do, though, in my opinion, because then you start getting into having no idea what you're investing in. And that I did it. I did it in the beginning of 2018. I put I can't remember how much. I probably put more than I was willing to lose into crypto in 2017. And I probably put like $1,000 into Dragon Chain at the beginning of 2018 because they were quote unquote partnered with Disney, which with no research behind it. Some guy at work was like, dude, Dragon Chain. I was like, yeah, dude, Dragon Chain. And I bought Dragon Chain, and I bought at the friggin' peak at like $5. Dragon Chain's at like 3 cents right now.
Hey, did you get any sushi?
What's that?
Did you get any sushi?
No, dude. Well, no, not at all. I don't do any of that.
No, hell no.
I hold for the long term with digital assets that I see these companies surrounding themselves with, building on, and I plan to hold as long as it takes. And that's the biggest thing about. And James, I know that you started looking into this stuff a lot more seriously probably over the last 6 months with doing the research and the videos. There will come a time 100% where you feel like you're burnt out, but you can't let yourself stop researching it, because if you step away for a day or a week, you might miss something where this company is integrating with this. And that's why I stay involved at this point personally, because it's selfish in a way, but it's also because I know I'm going to present it to people and make them aware that, hey, these are new things that are coming about. And, this is going to be it's not a static, we're not in a static space. We are in an evolving space, and it's going to continue to do so for the next 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. It's keeping on top of it so that you can make moves accordingly.
We're making a huge dent in this crypto universe. And I'm at the point now where if someone sends me a message and they're having a problem hooking up on an exchange or hooking up their ledger, I'll get them to shoot me their phone number and I'll call them. Hey, I'll help you out. That's what I do. And sometimes I can't get to them immediately because I have so many messages coming in as the channel grows, the Twitter page grows, but we're putting a dent in the crypto universe. We're getting this out there to the public before the banks get it or before the bank's custody, and they're going to charge you. Do you want XRP? Well, here's a fee. You could buy it, but you're going to pay this much, and we're going to charge you this much to hold it for you. So,
and guys, Crypto Siege has shared with us that the The Ripple, what a great man. The Ripple line of credit is going to be massive.
I
So,
agree. I agree 100%.
Me too.
If I could, look at what I try to take, like I say, everything with from more of a realistic standpoint. And Galgatron is one of the whatever you think about Galgatron, I don't care. But he's a very realistic person. He understands markets very apparently, and he put out a great post today. And I believe that Ripple line of credit is going to be gigantic. I mean, essentially, look at it as these SMEs, these small and medium enterprises, being able to expand based on the liquidity and the utility that XRP offers, and that's giant to me. I think that it's another ecosystem expansion, and it's more opportunity, and it's one of these things that just kind of opens your eyes, like as far as where this actually goes, and it's XRP is, to me, has the most utility out of almost any digital asset out there. Not just because of the utility inherently that XRP represents on Ledger, but based on the liquidity that it's building up. Because think of any other companies building on blockchain. Like, there's these niche use cases. XRP is enterprise grade to me, and it just takes a little bit of time to build up those rails and stuff like that. And this is just one extension of that to me.
Wait till we hit in the trillions on the market cap.
And it's going to. You mean blockchain or crypto as a whole? Yeah.
I mean, there's zero doubt we're gonna blow past the moon. That's what I always say. I always say XRP is going to give the moon the finger. I mean, I swear it is. It's going to give the moon the finger. Everybody says, "Is there going to be a moon event?" I say, "No. This is going to be a universal event." There goes my phone. Somebody's blowing me up. But yeah, I mean, once we hit the trillions, it's on like Donkey Kong.
I agree 1,000%. Now, one thing that, guys, as we kind of wind down, because I don't want to keep anybody too long, one thing, and not for self-promotion too much, but one of the things that I'm trying to do with the XRP Army community channel is to be a community resource where we can all benefit together if we work together just a little bit. And I wanted to share with you guys something that we released today, which was our first press release. And can everybody see that on my screen?
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
Right, and this is WRAL, which I live in close to Raleigh, North Carolina. And this is WRAL, which is the TV station close by. And if all of you Google that title, then you'll see our press release. And I own a digital marketing company, and I'm willing to do anything and everything that I can with the resources I have with our digital marketing company to help promote Ripple and XRP and our community. And the only thing that I'm asking for everyone in our community is your cooperation. And the way that breaks down basically is I'm putting out a video, a moment in time video, and I think all of you now are pretty familiar with what a moment in time is. And King Solomon's released tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time, Friday morning. It's going to be really great.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And Kevin Cage next week, just so everyone has something to look forward to.
You got Kevin on.
I got Kevin.
Congratulations, Scott. Congratulations, brother.
We'll be releasing that next week. And thank you, Kevin. And so what I'm trying to do is, if everybody thinks about it, okay, there's never in the history of social media ever been a community that focused together at the same time to share out information together. Never. And if all of you people watching this and anybody that'll hear it, if you can imagine if we all beat the drum at the same time, the how loud that sound is going to be out in the world. So what I'm asking us to do is go from 100% me and make a simple shift to 95% me, 5% we. And where that we comes in is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to put out a video at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And all I'm asking you guys to do is to retweet my tweet, watch the whole video, and then copy the link of the video and tweet it out yourself. And if everybody in the community does that, can you imagine if 50,000 people did that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? And how much time would it take for each individual to chip in their little part? And then the other thing, if we get good at that, and then we decide we want to get Joe Rogan on an interview, and I started that about 7 days ago, kind of as a goof, but maybe not. What if, I mean, you guys tell me, if 5,000 people ask Joe Rogan to speak to someone about Ripple and XRP from our community, is that going to get Joe Rogan's attention? And see, I'm a moron. I'm an idiot. I will ask him 5,000 times myself, right? I'm a rejection. Gimme rejection. I'm a professional salesman. I get it. I know how not to take that stuff personally. It's why I am able to be so persistent. Okay, I don't take it personally. I just keep asking. I'll wear you out eventually. I will. Ask how many people.
Can you talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing, though, as far as the YouTube, whenever it does get monetized with giving back to charity, et cetera?
Yes, and I thank you for bringing that up. One of the things, and we're in the process right now of trying to figure out how to get the thing monetized. We've got the views, and we've got the view time and the subs. As soon as we get this channel where we are getting money from YouTube, I and my partner have dedicated 100% of the YouTube revenue will go to charity. And before, and James knows this, but I don't think any of the rest of you do. Before this, I spent 4 months trying to put together a fundraiser. 4 months.
He busted his ass putting
4 months.
Yeah.
And I could not find 5 charities who would accept Ripple and XRP as payment. Well, I finally got them, and then I'm ready to open up the fundraiser. The XRP Army News Dent in the Universe fundraiser. And then I talked to Jerry Hall. And Jerry told me that if I go out there and ask all of you people for money in XRP, it ain't happening. So he said, you got to find some kind of way around that, Scott. And I'm like, oh, God. I wanted to punch him in his face, but I couldn't get to Costa Rica. Now, because all that hard work, and I finally got the breakthrough where I got all the charities on board. I got all the directors of the charity in an interview so people could watch them to make sure that everything I was doing was above board and legit. I was ready to go. And then I knew I couldn't do it. And then it dawned on me, hey, when this channel monetizes, how about if I just give all that money and have that be the way we, in part, fund the fundraiser? So I'm not asking you for any money out of your wallet out of your bank account or any money out of your crypto wallet, but I'm asking for a little bit of your time, your viewing time, and you're watching videos every day anyway. And don't you want to see Solomon's crypto story? Don't you want to see James Rule's crypto story? Don't you want to see Kevin Cage's? I know how many of you love the Bearable Bulls. And there are people out there that are just amazing. XRP Joe and his wife, our first husband and wife XRP family moment in time video. Y'all don't want to miss that. And think about it. If you watch it, we make YouTube pay. Who wants to make YouTube pay for the scam ads? If we all watch the videos and I'm willing to donate the money, we're making YouTube pay.
Scott, you're doing a great thing, man. I love you, man. I love you like a brother because we've known each other for about, 4 or 5 months? I mean, you are doing a wonderful thing for the community and just getting this out there to the public and letting everybody know that, nobody else is like the XRP community. We're one of a kind. You don't see a Bitcoin community or an Ethereum community and all that. So you're kicking ass and taking names, Scott.
Yeah, I did want to say, Scott, thanks for continuing to pursue getting me on here. I know it took a little bit more time than initially anticipated, and sorry for that. But between the wife, the family, the kids, and everything else, and trying to research the stuff, it gets a little bit difficult sometimes. I'm glad I did my moment in time, and I'm glad that I could be on here tonight as well. So
no problem. And the other thing that I wanted to mention to everybody is that we're putting together a flip book, and I think a lot of you have seen what those look like. Our first edition will come out, and I believe we're going to end up with having 20 stories in the first flip book. I didn't expect it to be 20, but I wanted to put 12 in it, but the other 8 are so good I didn't want to leave them out. So we're going to have stories in a flip book. It's all digital and it's all free. And when I'm doing this, so whenever any of you have anyone that you would like to share Ripple and XRP with, share the flip book and point them to a story. Like if you know a plumber, point them to XR Plumber's story. If you know a banker, point them to XRP Lover's story. Because a banker is going to relate more to a banker than he is a plumber, and vice versa. So I'm putting these tools together for everyone in the community for free, and to give all of you the opportunity to be able to have tools to share with other people. Because my background is in sales. I know that facts tell and stories sell. And we as a community, if we want to be helping with the mass adoption of Ripple and XRP, we got to be able to do it in an effective way. And the most effective way to do that is to share stories. So I'm putting our stories together, then putting them in flip books, and they'll be available to everybody in the community for free. And then when the first edition is done, we'll begin on edition 2. And my dream is to have 1,000 XRP Army moment in time. And then we'll flood the interweb with stories about Ripple and XRP from real stories from real people. And every time people watch it, that we're taking in money that will be donated to charity. I mean, I've done the best I can to make sure that it is a win-win-win-win-win for everybody.
That is wonderful. Wonderful.
All right, well, guys, Solomon, I appreciate you, my friend. And James, I appreciate you, my friend. And all the people watching, okay, here's what I'd ask you to do between now and next Thursday. I want you to think, who is it you would like to see in our community on here next week? You guys, I will provide the platform, but you guys got to help me figure out who it is you want to hear from. So you guys during the week, give me suggestions on who it is you want to hear from next week, and we'll get 2 more people on here from the community next week to share with everybody a little bit deeper dive and a little bit of a chance for you to ask them questions. Okay, sound good?
Hey, thanks, Scott. I appreciate it, man.
All right, you guys take care.
Nice meeting you, James.
Hey, you too, bud. Take care, man.
All right, bud.
Take care, everyone.
Later, guys.
See ya.